Thank you for listening for that. Next up, with Prince of Strats. Next up is Mitch Papatas.
Ja, auf dem Hausboot geschlafen, weil 3 Tage eigentlich noch gesagt.
Welcome back to Sigulda in Latvia for the final time this weekend, the 6th weekend of the BMW IBS Bobsleigh and Skeleton World Cup, and a little bit of an anomaly for you this afternoon, because normally here in Sigulda we have 2 World Cup 2-man races, and that is balanced out by 2 World Cup 4-man races at one of the other tracks, because it's too tight a track really to race 4-man down. But today, because that would give us too many 2-man races in the season, the final race is a European Championship only race. Well, the track 1,420 meters, but 1,200 meters from start line to finish line. And it is a tough track to get down. Never mind, get down fast. The start runs out pretty quickly into turn 1, and this is absolutely key. If you tap on the right-hand side down to turn 2, your speed has gone away. You'll skid through 2 and 3 if you're not careful. Tap into 4, and by then you're looking for an off-ramp down into 5 and 6 into the lower labyrinth, 7, 8, and 9, and then corner 10. This feeds you straight into 11, which feeds you after 2 pressures straight into corner 12. And then 13 and 14 onto the straight. Little tap on the left, very common, up into 15. Try and avoid hitting the woodwork, because that'll roll you off the exit of 15. Over the hill into 16 and across the line in something approaching 50 seconds. Track record of Francesco Friedrich and Alexander Schuller. That's set last season when they took the silver medal in race 1. That is our current fastest. In fact, that's back to November 2020, the start record and the track record. That was the last time the Europeans were here. Friedrich on the right, Johannes Lochner on the left. Arch rivals and still the best of friends. There's Mickey Vogt. Mickey starting in this race as ever with Sandro Mikkel behind him. And Adam Amor, yesterday's race winner. The 3rd German driver to win on this track, with 7 victories for Francesco Friedrich, 2 for Johannes Lochner last year, and Adam Amor and Benedikt Hertel winning here yesterday. But this is a European race only, European Championships race, so there are no US sleds involved, no Canadians, no Chinese, no anything else. It is just 18 European teams. So expect the front runners to come from yesterday's medalists in all likelihood. But we've got Adam Baird first off with Luca Williams, who made his 4-man debut in Lillehammer. Then Alexei Boron, Radoslav Sobchik, Emil Tsipoulis, Marcus Streichel. Yesterday's winner, Adam Amor. And then the silver medalist, Mickey Vogt from Switzerland, before Francesco Friedrich, who was the bronze medalist yesterday. Hansi Lochner, the contender in the first heat, dropped out to 4th place. So Adam Baird, 33-year-old, first time in the European Championships, his 2nd 2-man World Cup start came yesterday. And Luca Williams, who was a driver up through the Youth Olympic Games in 2020, took 2 years away and came back in November 2022. Let's see how we get underway with them. 5:11 is the start. Avoid the wall, tiny little tap into 2. Using the sleds that Adele Nickel raced in as well on Friday and this morning. Glad to relate that Adele and Kyle Placide are okay after their crash in the first heat of the women's race this morning. 1:01.9. Track record is 49.19. Maybe away from that little wild out of 13. Tidies it up. Nice clean exit of 14. This is a good-looking run from Adam Baird. And across the line, 49.88. All right, that's approval from Sean Olsen and Graham Richardson. I thought that was a nice-looking drive. Well, there's Adele Nickel at the front of the sled. This is Adele's sled. She bought it from Misha McNeil, her former driver. Good load from the British crew getting away in 5:11. 9 out of 14. He started steering it right at the right point, little shimmy with the runners just to stop the skid, and then easing it over gradually onto the driver's left for 15. And there is Adam. Another day, another bit of experience, you see. Same story here for Alexei Boron of Poland. He and Bartosz Zinkiewicz raced together in the World Cup race yesterday. And together they were third in last year's Junior European Championship and second in the Under-23 Europeans. So they already have European medals under their belt. Bartosz, the 22-year-old brakeman, raced in Europe Cup and in 4 World Cups and the Junior Worlds as well. These guys finished in 21st place yesterday, while Adam Baird was tied for 17th. So they didn't get a second heat yesterday. 5:06 getaway, a little quicker than the British duo. So that gives them a slender advantage early on. Little tap into 4. Dropping behind now into the red. Second best speed, so not quite as quick. Little bit of an early pressure and a late exit in 11. And it's catch-up time now to try and get it safely off 13. He does. Out of 14, not a bad exit of 14, but the speed is low. It was 1:15 change and he's gone. Out of 15. We've seen a couple of crashes there. Brianna Walker was in the woodwork in 15. She rolled off the exit. If you bring it down or you're sent down by hitting the wood, look, again, these track workers have done a lot of sled catching this week in training and in the races. Well, Alexei Boron across the line, upside down, but they were across the line. So here's 15. Boom, hits the woodwork, and that immediately just, tiniest touch actually, but the sled comes down, and then he's steering to bring it down, and unfortunately brought it down too early. There was still centrifugal force at play as the corner became the vertical wall, and the weight of the bodies in the sled just rolls it over. I hope that his brakeman Bartosz was wearing a Burns vest because his shoulders are on the ice there. And they're doing 65, 70 miles an hour at the bottom, even in a 2-man sled. So pretty beaten up. There's the driver, helmet off, Alexei. Bartosz was sitting on the railings there by the track wall. And as a result, there will be another 5-minute pause. Radoslav Sobchik and David Buber, his brakeman there, sled brake. Great view inside. Look, that little serrated thing you can see, that's the brakes. Take a look back at that in a moment, actually, because there's a lot to see inside the sled, even though there's not much in there. What you notice is that there are no seats. If you've ever been in a taxi bob ride, often the taxi bob will have some kind of seating for the passengers to sit on, like a padded cushion or something. These are built for speed. In the center there, you can see the head of the Latvian Federation, Zintas Ekmanis, in his turn, a driver, successful driver for the Soviet Union, as was. In fact, it was the Soviets that built this track in Sigulda, or funded this track in Sigulda to train the USSR athletes during the Cold War era. That's how Altenburg in Saxony came to be as well. The DDR built that track in great secrecy, secrecy from most of the inhabitants of the town. And that too was a secret test track for the DDR athletes. So there's a great view inside. Okay, so we talk about the D-rings. Those are those sort of grey handles that you can see. They're attached to cables that work the steering gear, and they're held from the top and from the floor, so they're suspended in the middle there by the bungee straps. And when the drivers jump in, their feet have to go around those. Very occasionally you see the spikes get caught on the bungees, and that then immediately yanks the steering to one side, so you're in all sorts of trouble. And you saw the brakes there as well. They stay tucked up inside the floor of the sled until the brakeman hauls on the handles. There again, elasticated bungee straps to hold the handles down to the floor so the brakes don't drop out. Nice sunny morning. Great to see the fans here. Nice sunny afternoon now. Great to see the fans here in numbers. Well, it's always good to bump into a few former Latvian athletes. And they're probably future Latvian athletes as well we haven't seen yet in the World Cup. Well, Radoslav Sobchik and David Buba are getting ready to go. Brakeman David Buba making his World Cup debut yesterday in the two-man sled. He gets to do the heavy lifting, along with the coach, putting the sled onto the ice a minute before they're due to have their departure. And then when the clock starts, it will be dropped into the start grooves. Just double checking that helmet. What you don't want on this track is anything wrong with your safety equipment. Now, while the previous three sleds are in their first European Championships, the previous two sleds, we've got a number of prior European medalists in the field. But for Adam Baird, Alexei Boron and Radoslav Sobchik here, a first ever European Championship entry, although these two competed in the Junior European Championships. Radoslav for the last couple of years, 12th in the Junior Europeans in 2022, 13th last year. They finished at the tail of the field yesterday, having made it in to the field, which their teammate Alexei Boron and Bartosz Sinkiewicz did not do. Getting ready to get underway again. 5:11 and 5:06, the two starts so far. And it's a 5:24 getaway. Quietly from 1 to 2. Little square hit into 4. You'll even see most of our German sliders doing that, so this is not a rookie error. It's what everybody does. Down through the labyrinth to corner 10. Ooh, little high early in 10. It's a decent exit. 11 gets mopped away into 12. Out of 13. Into 14 and out. Clean on the exit, but half a second back. Not as quick as our current leader, Adam Baird. Second best speed still. Don't forget, their teammates were upside down at that stage. 50.59. So good to see Poland back in World Cup bobsleigh after an absence of, well, at least one Olympic quad from the World Cup. Nice to see them back, not with just one, but with two teams. Both young drivers and young crews learning their trade. You want to start the athletes, ideally late teens, because it takes a long time to learn these tracks, so little time on them. This weekend, they'll spend about 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, on the actual ice going down. And then come back a year later, if you're lucky. Well, next up, Emil Tsoupulis. 7th in last year's European Championships in Altenburg. That's his European best. 11th in 2022 in Samarik. This is his 3rd European Championship, but it's the 8th for his brakeman, Mats Miknes. Got a bronze in 2017 with Oskars Kybermanis. Gold in 2020 here with Kybermanis as well. Little tap away. Emils finished in 8th place in yesterday's two-man race. Had a big skid out of 14 in both runs. So key to get, had a little tap away into 13 as well, out of 14. Again, a little bit more sideways than he'd like. Holding a lead over Adam Baird, but giving away speed, not as quick as the British sled at the bottom either. And 2/10 up, 49.68. They started 1800s quicker than the British sled, only 2000s faster at the bottom. So empirically, Adam Baird definitely produced a better drive than Emil Tsipoulis. And Emil's on his home track. Again, out of 14, too late. Allowing the sled to climb on the exit, which means he brought it down a fraction early. And we're talking here a couple of hundredths of a second difference in where you steer, not even a tenth. And then a bump into 15, into 16 rather. Yeah, lots to think about. Looking just as puzzled this morning as he was yesterday. The timing is not spot on. Well, Emil Tsipoulis leads after our first 4 sleds. Next up, Marcus Treichel, with Marcus Sammer behind him. Not Anna Schenk. Anna was in the 4-man last week. So Marcus Sammer, 6 European Championships, all with Benny Meyer. 6th here in 2020, bronze in Winterberg 2021. But for Marcus, 9th in Koenigsegg 2019, his best result as a driver. He was 13th here in 2020. So a 5:01 getaway, just 800ths behind Emil Tsipoulis. Marcus Sammer, the man they call Oppa, the colloquial for granddad in the team. So many trips under his belt, such an experienced brakeman, and still an absolute killer at the start. They're level and into the green. A lot of ice there, but he's got a clean exit. No, he hasn't. Skids into 15. Into 16 online. Second best speed. Should have enough in the tank, does not. 49.72, 400s back. That was close. Littlest high five of the posse so far. Well, shakes his head there. Little mistake in 13. This is 10-11. Oh, yikes. That transition is so fast in real time, I didn't realize how close they had got. Yeah, Marcus. Marcus Sammer. Don't beat up Oppa like that. Emil Tsipoulis leads after our first 5 sleds. Next up, yesterday's winner, Adam Amor. He won with Benedict Hertel, now with brother Issam behind him. Issam Amor, just 24 races in total. This is his first time in the Europeans, as it is for driving brother Adam. Adam's entire career, here it is, 5 Europe Cup races, Junior World Championship gold, World Champs last year in 2-man, 6 World Cup races, and 2 in the NAC. Before this morning, he has started just 15 official bobsleigh races, and he's already a Junior World Champion and a World Cup winner yesterday, and he's 1800s up. A very strong start, 483, and he drove superbly yesterday and is doing the same again, a wee bit late. Not too bad. Looking for gold again. On the left, going into 16, but good speed at the line. Nicely done, 49.39. There's Benedict Hertel. Enjoying a gold medal winning day yesterday with his driver Adam Amor. And Adam's older brother Issam 30, Adam 22. Good start, 483, 75 is the start record. We didn't get close to it yesterday. That is going to rate as one of the quickest starts. 11 to 12, still pretty bumpy, but everybody is there. I think this young man has lots of future in the sport. So, Patrick Baumgartner next up. tied for 8th place in last year's European Championships, and he finished a strong 6th yesterday. 3 European outings, 1 Junior European Championship result as well. Best of 8th place in Altenburg last year, but for Robert Messier, great man, Altenburg last year was his only European Championship encounter. Let's see what they've got today. A top 6 result would definitely be another big boost. Started the season strongly, just drifted away a little bit from the podium in the last couple of races. The top 6 here underlines what a good driver Baumgartner is. 5:02 their getaway. That left them 2 tenths behind Adam Amor, but he's bringing it back. Oh, late! Goodness me. Third best speed, heart in the mouth moment there. Certainly for Robert Messier in the backseat, he will have known all about that. 4th best speed, and at the line, they are 2nd, ahead of Emil Sapoulis by 300. Yikes! Smile on his face, look. You can see it even under the helmet, yes. That was 50-50. Look at that. Oh, just got onto 12. That's as close as you like. Another couple of centimeters, not even, to the driver's left as they came off 11. Off 10 rather, and they would have gone like Alexei Boron did. He knows that was in the lap of the gods, that one. Okay, well, 1 crash and a couple of wake-up calls already in this first of 2 heats at the European Championships in Sigulda. Next up, Cedric Follador with Greg Jones behind him. Junior European Championship outings for Cedric in 2020 and 2021, and then raced in the seniors last year in Altenburg to 12th place. Greg Jones wasn't in the sled then, but he was in 2020 with Seaman Friedley when they took European Championship silver in Sigulda. Good start, 5:09. Nice run through quarter 1, quiet down into 2. That's how you keep your speed alive. Little tap into 4, everybody does, but 3 tenths back because Adam Amor put in a blistering start and then backed it up with a very smooth drive. Nice line so far from Follador. Ooh, little skid onto 11, tap into 12, 13 into 14, a little calmer than Patrick Baumgartner, so he's got the 3rd best speed. Comes off 15 a little early. Skids down to 16, 2nd best speed. Where's he going to be at the line? 5th place. 400s ahead of Great Britain's Adam Baird. So a battle shaping up there already. Well, in yesterday's race, Cedric was tied for 11th. Drops in onto the back of the seat, then slides himself in. Probably better than catching your knee on the cowl. And here, a little late run of pressure out of 15. Did come down a fraction early, then gets tagged away, squared up onto 16. Woof! Straight up the corner. So then we have Adam Amor in the lead now with Johannes Lochner and Eric Bruckert. These two are our reigning European champions. Altenburg last year was Eric's only European outing, and he got gold. Hansi, 7 European championships up to now, never off the podium. Silver, bronze, silver, 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 gold. Didn't win yesterday. Whoa! Little late there. Big height in 3. Didn't finish on the podium yesterday after 2 wins last year on this track. He has been absolutely slaying them in the 2-man all season long. Best speed from 1100s back at the start. He is coming to Adam Amor. Clean out of 14. Best speed still. Nice run from Johannes Lochner, 1:27.8. Best speed down at the bottom and across the line, 1100s up. So yesterday, Adam Amor comfortably beat last year's double winner. This morning, Johannes Lochner is ahead of yesterday's gold medalist. So clearly feeling a little happier with that run. And again, it's all about dialing yourself back into the track in training. All right, one more to go. Telling Ilko to get out of the way. It was a little high and late, wasn't it? The 10-11 transition. And then, yeah, kind of rocky. Big height. That was 12-13, big height. So there's still more to tidy up from Johannes Lochner. Now then, what about Simon Friedli? Silver medalist on this track in 2020. That was with Greg Jones behind him. Now Andreas Haas behind him. Finished 5th yesterday. Third different European Championship entry for Andreas Haas. Third different driver. Samaritz was 7th with Mickey Vogt. Altenberg 12th with Cedric Follador. And now his 3rd Europeans. Oh, getting rattled around here by Simon Friedli. Whoa! Flattened out the corner there. That was not great. That cuts a lot of ice. Still a 10th back, only 200s off Lochner at the start. 2nd at the line, 3rd at the line. It went away. Yeah. You're going to be looking at that video for 13 because he basically flattened the corner completely. So high in 11 on the first pressure, tries to hold it in the middle on the second, comes out late, hits, gets knocked away into 12, and then suddenly went spearing up, big height in 13. This is the run down into 16, skidding in sideways. Well, Simon Friedli in 3rd. Next is his teammate, Mickey Vogt. Mickey Vogt, the silver medalist yesterday and the silver medalist in last year's World Championships as well. Last Swiss to win gold, by the way. You could probably guess Beat Hefty with Alex Baumann in the 2-man in 2016 in Samaritz. That was the 4th of Hefty's European Championship gold medals, and before him 2002 Cortina d'Ampezzo, the late lamented Cortina. Christian Wright took gold with Steve Anderhub behind him. Names to country with. What can Mickey Vogt do with Sandro Mikkel? 5th Europeans for Sandro, all with Mickey. This is Mickey's 6th here. It was 11th here in 2020, 4th in Winterberg 21, 7th in Samaritz 22, and then silver last year in Altenberg. They start strong and have the early lead over Hansi Lochner. Second best speed, Lochner was fastest all the way down, apart from the starting speed trap. The gap's going to come down, and it does. A long drift down to 15. Little tap into 16. Going to be very close to the 100th of a second, and he is 100th behind. making a real race of it. Well, much easier to see what went wrong in his run than Seaman Friedli's. Not so much. It was predominantly exit 14 that was really taking the speed out of the sled at the bottom, and he knows it. Well, they started strongly, 495. The lead is starting 494. Fastest start still in third place, Adam Amor and Issam Amor, 483. Look at the big meat hooks on Sandro Mikkel. He is an absolute monster, Sandro. Proper gentle giant. And then that little late drift out of 14. It takes a tiny bit of speed out. All right. So, first 10 sleds down. And 100th in it. Johannes Lochner leads from Mickey Vogt. Adam Amor in third place. Next up, Jakobs Calendar of Latvia. Finished 14th yesterday. 10th in the Junior Europeans in 2022. 6th in the Under-23. And then in the Senior European Championships last year in Altenburg, finished 15th place. Agazungus behind him, only 5 two-man races in his career. 2 in Europe Cup, 3 in World Cup. The 30-year-old brakeman, very inexperienced, getting away to a 497 start. Unfortunately, Jakobs, the gap is growing. Tidies it up, he'll run a check out of 14. 7th best speed from the 6th best start. Oh, sideways into 16. That's going to take speed away as well. Ducks his head. 5th at the line, 49.64. Well, lots of support from the Latvian fans. Lots of them there will be guests of our event sponsor, TET. The Latvian Telecoms giant. Exit 14, late steer to get him off. And that leaves him trying to straighten the sled up a fraction down into 15. Came on to 15 on the right side, which is the driver's left, on the correct side, but skid into 16. He's trying to bring it out of the gully as the sled drifts away from him sideways over the brow, turning right when the corner's going left. So there's Jakobs Calendar, currently lying in 5th place, the better of the Latvians, as we get to the GOAT, Francesco Friedrich. Friedrich has got 21-year-old Tim Becker behind him from Magdeburg in eastern Germany. Becker is now starting his 6th ever two-man bobsleigh race. Previous races, Junior European Championship gold medalist this year already with Hans-Peter Hanighofer, and Junior World Championship silver with Hans-Peter. This is Tim Becker's first season, and he has been put in behind Francesco Friedrich. No pressure for the 21-year-old kid. What a good start, 492. And Friedrich, this is a better looking run than we saw yesterday. He's got 7 wins on this track. Is he going to be able to add another? 3rd best speed. He won't have the lead at the line, but he is in 3rd, a 10th back. 100th ahead of Adam Amor. The battle for gold, it's Lochner from Vogt by 100th, and then 10 behind them, Friedrich from Amor for 100th. Think what you were doing at 21, and then think what Tim Becker has just done. He started his 6th actual race, and he's pushing off the greatest bobsledder of all time, Francesco Friedrich. Friedrich, late there, rattles the wall in the transition. You can see from the marks there how many times that happens. And here, just a little skid over the brow into 16. And there is Tim Becker. Well, congratulations. I was going to say welcome to the World Cup. He hasn't made a World Cup start yet. I wonder when that will come. Maybe next week in Altenburg, because that'll be home ice for him as well as for Francesco. Torsten Marg is helping out. There are the D-rings inside the sled. There's the driver's seat back. There is no seat cushion. Just in front, the grey handles you can see there. Those are the brake handles. Mihai Tentea and Georg Jordash. Now then, Mihai and Georg. 15th place yesterday for Mihai, with Mihai Pacianu behind him. 5 junior European championships for Tentea, 2 of them gold. 3 under-23 championships as well, 2 golds in that, and 4 senior European championships. His best 8th place in Winterberg 2021. Brakeman Georg, just 20 years old. 11th best start, driving themselves into the top 10. Oh, long skid. Only the 12th best speed. Their upward progress has receded. Dropping down behind Adam Baird. And ahead, yes. Oh, just ahead of Baird by 100th at the line. Brought it back. I was going to say just ahead of Radoslav Sobchik, but in fact he is just a fraction ahead of Adam Baird, and he's only 300s behind Cedric Follador, so a 3-sled battle, 10th, 11th, 12th. Follador, Tentea and Baird covered by 400ths of a second. There's Mihai Pacianu helping at the front of the sled, who was the brakeman yesterday. Out of 14. Runners straight. Just a little runner check, little shimmy there. Come back, maybe, come back. Come back, come back. Doesn't want to oversteer it, because he doesn't want the tail breaking into a slide. Yeah, okay. Comme ci, comme ça, as they say in Romania. Well, unfortunately today, no Brad Hall and Taylor Lawrence. Brad's back injury clearly playing up a little. So our final sled, or rather our 15th sled, will be Matej Behunek. He's got Dominik Zaleski behind him. Second European Championships for the brakeman. He was 16th in Altenburg with Adam Dobesh. 2 junior Europeans for the driver, 12th and 11th in the last couple of seasons, but his first in the senior European Championships. Zaleski behind him, they start 5:05, 10th best start. Still 10th on the split and the 10th best speed. Oh, little rattle there, but it looks like he is ahead of Mihai Tentea at the moment. Ahead of Cedric Follador, and that's a good exit as well. Matej producing a really fine drive here. Little skid down into 16, but gets in on the right side. That's where you want to be, and across the line, just slips behind Adam Baird by 400ths. Okay, so from Follador, Tentea, Baird and Behunek, 800ths covering 4 sleds.
Good luck.
15 sleds down, and Matej Behunek. Top half was good, second half just a whisker behind on a couple of those steers. That transition seen harder, but again it all takes speed out of the sled. 2 more sleds to go. Mattia Variola now for Italy, with Jose Obu behind him. Second European Championship for Jose, 4th for Mattia. Yesterday finished tied for 11th. Mattia's first European Championships, Winterberg 2017, pushing Simone Battazzo to 13th place. And then as a driver, 15th in Sigulda here, 2020, and 14th in Altenburg. So if he can improve on that, if he can match yesterday's result, then he will have outdriven the result that he had with Simone Batazzo. Batazzo, a European medalist in two-man. He took the bronze in Cesana 2008 with Simone Romanini behind him. Oh, that's late. 2 tenths back, 8th at the start. They are still in 8th place, but slipping away down into the battle for 10th, I think. Where is he at the line? He is 10th, but he's 500 behind Marcus Treichel, and he's 7 ahead of Cedric Follador. Whoa! Well, after his brakeman yesterday put the brakes on before corner 16, Jose Abu waiting just a little longer. So starting 5 flat in the top 8 and drifting away a little down the run, finishing in 10th. Sideways there, very, very broadside into 16. And here's why, not straight over the brow. And the tail having its way with the sled. All right, one more to go in this first heat, and this is the Czech Republic's Adam and Michal Dobeš. Unrelated, although when you meet them, you'd be hard-pressed to believe it. 31-year-old driver and 29-year-old brakeman. For Adam, the driver, Altenburg was his first Europeans, finished 16 last year. This is the first time in a European Championship race for Michal Dobeš. His World Cup debut was in Altenburg last year. Didn't race in the European Championship encounter. Started back in December 2018. 5:04, 11th best start. Little tap. Trying to come clean out of 14. 16 best speed at the bottom, 16th on the splits. He has not really got to grips with this track, Adam Dobeš. And across the line, 15th position. Well, he's ahead of both the Polish sleds. Adam Dobeš not getting a handle on this track. His teammate Matej Ahunek is 24 hundredths ahead of him. There you see how the brakeman gets in, feet going in front of him. There's a little more room for the athletes in a two-man sled, so he doesn't have to get his legs right around the driver. But if you've got long levers like Michal Dobeš, you've got to get them all folded in and tucked away out of the airstream. Look, Adam there, ducking his head as he comes out of 14, not because he thinks they're going over, but because he wants to save 100th in terms of speed. Well, our first heat leader is a multiple winner on this champion and on this track, and a serial medalist in the European Championships. 7 consecutive medals, including gold last year in Altenburg. Johannes Lochner leads with Eric Bruckert. Well, he's had 4 silver medals and 1 gold after his first bronze medal. So Johannes Lochner, Eric Bruckert lead by a whisker from Mickey Vogt and Sandro Mikkel. Then Francesco Friedrich, 100th ahead of the Amor brothers, and some similarly tight battles up and down the order. Could be a very entertaining second heat. Well, we haven't had a Swiss driver winning the European Championships since 2016 in St. and Bad Hefty. Mickey Vogt is in the mix, but he's going to have to beat the reigning European champion to do so. Find out if he can. We'll be back at 13:35 Greenwich Mean Time, 08:35, and that is in 50 minutes from now, 50 minutes from now.